Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a couple new knives from Tempest Knives. So these are prototypes my buddy Casey sent my way to check out, and I'm pretty excited about these, so I hope you guys are as well. I don't have any details on when they're releasing or any of that stuff. These are very early in the stage of, existing. So just putting that out there. But the first one is the MicroJet. So this is the mini version of the Jetstream. So this is my Jetstream right here. It's the full-size Jetstream. And this one's titanium with a 154, I believe, CM blade. And then you have the MicroJet now. And this one has carbon fiber scales, liners on both sides. And then it has a belt satin blade. This is a prototype, so it's in D2, but I believe the final production is going to be 154 cm, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong again. This is early on in the stages. This is a prototype, but here's a comparison to its full-size brother. And you can see one major difference, other than obviously the size, is he did his best to remove that cant. When you look at this knife, one of the things people took issue with, if anybody took issue with it at all, it bothered me a little bit, but not enough to like not want the knife or anything. But if you look at it, the blade kind of tilts up, right? You can see here it sort of starts to angle up. Well, on the MicroJet, it is straight. So he got rid of that because he heard the feedback. So that's really cool. Other than that, I mean, it's a Jetstream, just a mini version. You have a filler tab and a titanium pocket clip, so it's reversible. You can see I have my Jetstream on the left side. And the handle is slimmed down this way as well as being shorter, which is nice in my opinion, because that was one thing it's one thing I don't love about this knife is how tall it is in the handle. Just personal preference. People with larger hands, I think, will prefer it this way. But I like a handle that's a little bit shorter in this sense, right? So when you look at the MicroJet, you have that, right? Which I think is really cool. So in the hand, it just feels a little bit more at home for me personally. This size just feels a little bit more at home. I don't know why this is shaking so much, because it's not mounted to the desk that I'm on. So we'll see. Anyway, yeah, I love the weave carbon fiber. This is obviously a combination that I like a lot. You'll see it a lot in the knives from my knife company with Colin. Divo knives, we use the weave and belt satin a lot, and it's because it looks fantastic. You do have a liner lock design. I believe he told me the titanium versions of this will not have that liner on the show side. And then it is essentially a inset liner lock. So if you look at the Jetstream, it is a inset liner lock. So you just have this bar here and then a tab that goes around the area where the clip gets mounted and the backspacer or whatever. But there's nothing on this whole half here of the lock side. So it's an inset liner lock and then no liner. Oh, there is a liner there on the show side. Sorry about that. There's a liner there. No, wait, no there isn't. Man, I can't see for shit. Nope, that's not a liner. Sorry, guys. So this side is just milled out in there. And then you just have the lock bar in there. So it's an inset liner. And that is how the titanium versions of this will be. But for the carbon fiber ones, he didn't want it to be too light. I think it comes in around 3 ounces. He didn't want it to be too light, so he put a liner on this side here. And then there's actually a full liner on this side as well. So I think he just did that for rigidity or weight purposes. You have the same kind of flipper tab, pulls back. You kind of pull it down and out. It's like a Vero style flipper tab. And then you have a hole there for deployment that you can reverse flick very easily. You also have a fuller you can get into. Very comfortable in the hand. It's going to be real easy to manipulate and cut with. It's got that spear point blade. Very cool knife. So this is the MicroJet, and I think his plan is to put this one into production first, but don't hold me to that. And Casey will obviously give you all that information on his own channel. So make sure you're following Knives Fast on YouTube and Instagram or wherever. And you can follow Tempest Knives, of course, on Instagram as well. So that's the MicroJet. Very cool. And then you have a new model. This is the DownDraft, and I really like this one. It's got a very slim handle. It's got a really aggressive Wharncliffe blade, and it just really speaks to me. This one has a stonewash blade with the weave carbon fiber. You have a wire clip on this one. I think this model is meant to be a little bit more affordable. And you just have that beautiful Wharncliffe blade. Look at that thing. Full length fuller here, so the hole and fuller take up the length of the blade, which is really cool. Nice and thin and slicey. I believe the prototype was supposed to be hollow ground, so we'll see where that ends up in production. The flipper tab on this prototype is good, but he is planning to shave off some of this area here so that your finger can clear it a little bit better. As is, I can flick it no problem, but some people are going to have a little trouble if they, try to just slide down or whatever. It's just got a little bit more material than the MicroJet. You can see on the MicroJet here, you have this area kind of comes down and slopes down nicely on an angle, and here it kind of just comes across. So you have a little bit more room here to slide down than you do on this one, right? So that's a little minor thing he can change either in production or get new prototypes. But I think the flipper tab is going to be excellent once he gets that dialed in. And of course, you have a really good reverse flick on this. You have a flat right here, so you get a really nice, comfortable grip. You can choke up real good onto that Wharncliffe blade. Pinch grip's really good. I mean, for a knife this size, it feels like a smaller knife to me, yet look, I have plenty of handles sticking out there, so I don't think it's really that small. If we grab the good old ruler here, we can see the blade length on this is close to 3.5 inches, just under 3.5 inches. Cutting edge is 3 1/4, so it's a really good size, I think. But yet, overall, it just feels like a little bit of a smaller knife, which is good in my opinion. I think the blade to handle ratio looks good on it, which is always an important thing to me. You get a really good reverse flick. The detent feels good on this one, dialed in. I can flick it every which way, and then you have that fuller that extends all the way down, so you can flick with basically any finger. So it'll be a bit of a fidget monster. You have a liner lock again. In this case, we do have a full liner on both sides again. Not sure how if he did titanium ones, or I think he did aluminum as well as the weave, and maybe a Damascus or something like that. You could check out his video on this at the Knives Fast channel, but yeah, really digging the DownDraft. This is probably my favorite model so far from Tempest. You guys know I'm just a sheep's foot fan. I really like the microburst. Do I have mine here somewhere? Yeah. I have a Damascus one. This was his sort of budget model he released. And, well, no, he did the Pinion, the microburst, the Jetstream so far. And he's got a lot of models coming out. He always makes fun of me for that. He's got a ton of models out. He just did a pre-order for the Fractus. That's in production. But this one is a nice sheepsfoot blade, but it has studs, and I'm just not the biggest studs fan. I like them just fine, but I prefer a hole for deployment, so this one will quickly take over as my favorite Tempest design. because of that beautiful Warncliffe blade and that nice hole for deployment. Really good reverse flick. The ergos. I like how slim and sleek it is. It's a really good design. I'm really happy about this one. And I'm happy for Casey on this one. So check it out, guys. The Downdraft and the MicroJet from Tempest Knives. Again, these are prototypes. I don't have any drop dates or anything like that. I don't know if they're going to be pre-orders or what. So you're going to have to check in with Casey on that. But yeah, hope you guys like them. I love them. Let me know if you guys have any questions down in the comments. I'm sure Casey will be happy to answer whatever he can down there. And can't wait to see these released in the near future. And I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will catch you later.